Welcome to Leaning into Your Transition to Online Education. Hi, my name is Bianca Raby. I'm the founder and CEO of APETA, a digital education agency. APETA's mission is to raise the bar in online learning globally, and we do this by focusing on the importance of learning design. And my co-host for this series is Jamie Engel. He's the founder of Newtopia, a collaborative content library and course creation platform that supports peer-to-peer learning, builds online environments, and creates a strong sense of community. In this topic, we're going to talk about the tools and choosing the right tools to ease your transition to online environments. And my first question for you today, Jamie, is that it can be sometimes really overwhelming with all the EdTech tools out there. How do you decide what to use and when?
Awesome question, Bianca. Thank you. So the first thing I would consider is, what is the student experience you're trying to create, or learning experience? And then match the tools to the learning experience that you're trying to create. The second one is to think about what are the outcomes you're trying to reach, because different outcomes will require different tools. And then the last point would be, look for examples of great delivery, so inspiration. So if you've been in a workshop online, or you've done a course that you thought was excellent delivery, kind of back engineer it, try to find out what tools they may have used, but use that as a starting point to go, I really liked what that experience was like. It was engaging, it was inspirational, and then try to match that.
Awesome.
Over to a question for you, Bianca. What do you do when someone asks you, what do you think of X tool?
Yeah, good question, because that does come up for us a lot of the time, and we haven't used every single one of them. So my first point is actually look for someone who's used it and who's used it in a real life situation, not just heard of it or heard of someone else who's used it. It's really good to speak to someone who's actually gone in there and used it. And if you can, get a trial yourself to go in and actually use it in a simulated environment, because often we don't know if the tool's going to do what it's supposed to do until we actually try and put it into action. The second point is that I will always get people to try and understand what their current tools can do, so what capabilities they already have. So I'm not averse to using extra tools and add-ons and LTIs and things inside of LMSs, but I'm also much an advocate for people to use the tools they currently have and see if it actually compares to something that's currently in your system or available for free, or something that's already in a behavior that's already existing in the organization. And then if you really do want to use an external tool and you haven't got them, then to go through and do that research. And so some of that research is that first point of getting someone who's got the hands-on experience, but other the times it is also looking out and seeing who else is using these particular tools, researching into pricing models, whether it's going to be something sustainable for your organization, and kind of getting some advice on that. And that's often where consultants can come in, because we're a bit more aware of all the stuff that's going on out there and can kind of distill and cut through the noise a bit for people.
Fantastic tips. Thanks, Bianca. So if you found any of this helpful or have any questions about your transition to online delivery, we'd love you to join us Thursday, the 9th of April at 4 p.m. Sydney time for a live webinar hosted by Bianca and myself, where we'll be discussing how to choose the right tools to ease your transition to online environments, along with a live Q&A.
Thanks so much. See you there.